Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, Boomer and I are out on a mountaintop again, day number 4, different situation, different setup. If you guys aren't in touch with that, go back to the last 3 videos and you'll be brought up to speed. So we're out in the misty rain again, hiked into a location in an opener kind of setting. It's a little bit more open here rather than the last camp out. It's been in the trees. And as you guys can see in the background, the mist is rolling in. It is getting late in the day. It is wet out. It is not terribly cold, but I got a feeling it's going to dip down tonight. So we've got the tent totally set up, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, everything ready to go. It's time to get started on a hot drink. So let's get started on that. All right, guys, we've got a hot cup of coffee on the go right now, and just in time because the mist is pushing through, coming from the backside over the tent. So good thing I've got this door open, the backside sealed shut. That's where I'm going to be storing the backpack in the rear vestibule, and that should keep everything dry on this side. Boomer, as you guys can probably make out, is having a little bit of an afternoon nap. He's a little tired out, a little bit wet. He'll dry out, he'll be nice and comfortable a little later on, so we'll let him do his thing. And speaking about temperature, it is actually getting quite warm, so I'm going to get my jacket off, store that inside, do my best to keep everything dry, because if you guys can make out, my shoes and my pants are already totally soaked, my socks are soaked. Pushing through all these small spruce trees and a little bit of shrubbery around here, all the rain and the mist is just brushing off on me and I am drenched. So getting dry later on is going to be key, hanging things up inside of the tent, utilizing some of these pockets and hooks and whatnot. But right now I'm going to relax, enjoy this hot cup of coffee, and just take in all the atmosphere that is happening around here. So cheers, guys. Catch up with you in a few moments. All right, guys, going to be taking a little bit of a relax here. It is getting quite cold and the wind is picking up. Not significantly, but it is pushing some moisture over, and we're in no hurry to do anything just yet. We have probably about another 3 hours of daylight, so we got plenty of time to cook supper. Boomer's woken up from his nap. He's still a little drowsy, but I figured this would be a good time to bring you guys inside of the tent just a little bit to have a look at what we've got going on here for living space. Come. So we brought a down sleeping bag, and we've got the inflated mattress down here, which is it's insulated, so it's nice and warm. R value of 5, I believe. And then we brought a summer tent. The reason why I'm talking about this is because a down sleeping bag, as long as you keep it dry, is excellent, which it is still dry. Insulated pad, it's a winter pad, R value of 5. And then a summer tent. What am I thinking here? Ventilation. So it is misty. It is basically like 100% humidity, or moisture content, I should say. And having a tent with a lot of breathability is definitely something that I wanted on this trip. And I often do this, even in the dead of winter, I'll bring summer tents just like this with full mesh. And it helps cut down on a ton of condensation. So the wind is coming in this way. It's sweeping underneath of the rainfly skirt, coming in the tent, up and over. Yes, it's very breezy and it feels actually really good. It's not cold in here. It'll wick all that moisture out. And how do I stay warm? This. So I get asked that all the time. Why do you bring summer tents in the winter? Get a 4-season tent. Honestly, a 4-season tent collects a ton of moisture and it's just not worth it for me personally. I use my insulated pads and my -18 to -20 degree down sleeping bags to stay warm. And often in the wintertime, I will camp with just a sleeping bag and a sleeping pad in the open. No tarp, no tent, as long as the weather permits it. -20, -25 degrees Celsius, whatever. Obviously, I'll mix up the pad and the sleeping bag combo for that trip, but this is way more than sufficient for today's outing. Just let all that cool air kind of brush over the tent, bringing in a ton of ventilation, and we'll stay nice and dry. And that's how I'm going to get all my clothing dried out. I'm going to hang it up top on some of these hooks, and all that air is going to brush over top, air drying my clothing. So A little bit of a tip there. How do I stay dry and why do I bring summer tents in horrible winter conditions, even fall and cold and wet such as today? So Boomer is hiding in the corner right now, sniffing around. I'm going to finish up my coffee and then basically just relax inside of the tent. And not a whole lot going on today, just a lot of bushwhacking and then coming out here in the open area to camp. So I am definitely hungry, so basically going to relax, try and dry out a little bit, and then start on a hot supper. All right, everybody, jumping inside of the tent. Supper is all done and it is getting dark and wet outside. So it's actually starting to really rain other than just mist. I can hear it lightly tapping on the tent and my pants are even more wet. Boomer's soaked, he's cold, he's ready just to call it a day. It's almost nightfall too. So we got the light on, illuminating the entire tent. Now, luckily, we have plenty of operating room from inside of this tent. I've got the pad pushed all the way back, giving me some floor space inside of the tent as well as the vestibule space outside. And of course, the backpack on the back side for storage. So if we do need to make breakfast or cook some food from inside of the tent, we could do so no problem using the canister stove and cracking a door open for ventilation. And already I can feel there is a ton of ventilation in here, which is going to be great for later on. So I'm going to be getting out of these pants and shoes and socks, getting things hung up all over the place. Luckily, there's all kinds of pockets in this tent as well to get everything up and off the ground. And we're basically going to be getting inside of the sleeping bag and hopefully relaxing with this door open partially. I don't want to close off the doors to the outside world. I still want to be able to look outside and check out all the mist and the rain and stuff and feel like I'm outside. I don't like shutting the doors off too much. So that's going to be the plan. Get inside and get cozy, guys. So we're going to wrap this up for tonight and we'll catch up with you guys first thing in the morning for coffee and check out the weather in the morning. So good night, everybody. I'll catch you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a wet and rainy morning out here today, and I gotta tell you, last night it dumped, absolutely dumped with rain. Massive downfall. The winds picked up a little bit, but it was pretty much all rain. It just stopped about 2 hours ago. We're back to a really fine mist, borderline with rain. Tent is soaked on the outside, but I'm glad to say everything on the inside, even in the vestibule area, is actually still dry. So we had a very good night last night. Boomer is rearing to go. He's been out playing, kind of giving him a little mohawk here with his wet hair. And we're just gonna kick back this morning and enjoy some hot coffee. Very short hot coffee though, because the rain is gonna pick up again and we have to get everything packed up and get out of here. So that is basically today's plan, is stay dry, drink coffee, get packed up, and get out of here. So cheers guys and good morning. Let's enjoy this coffee. All right, guys, we've got everything totally packed up and the rain's starting to come in, so we definitely have got to get going. Boomer's gonna get his jacket on in just a moment, get this backpack on, camera packed away, and we are out of here. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. And as always, peace out, guys. I'll catch you in the next adventure.